Hello and welcome to Excel Essentials Episode 2. In this session, we'll be covering pivot tables. Enjoy! A pivot table is a summarization tool that helps wrap up and sum large amounts of information from bigger tables, as an example. Now, these can be databases, an Excel spreadsheet, or any data that is or could be converted into a table-like format. As you can see, I have some HR data on the screen and it looks a little bit like it is in a table. Now, pivot tables allow us to transform columns into rows and rows into columns, and we can group data by any field or column and use advanced calculations on them. We are also able to sort, reorganize, group, and count various data stored in the table. Now, I'm going to demonstrate how you can use pivot tables at work. So as you see, I have got this HR data on screen, and you can either select your table or just click any cell within your table. As I've got no blanks in this HR data, I'm just going to leave it as one click. Then you're going to go to the Insert tab in your ribbon, and then you're going to click on Pivot Table. And as you see, you're going to get this box, pivot table from table or range. And as you see, it's selected my whole table. If it doesn't select your full table first time round, you can click this little up arrow where it will allow you to then reselect your data. And then click the little drop down box to pop it back into the full box. And you can choose where you want it placed, on a new worksheet or in the same spreadsheet. But I want it to be on a new one so it doesn't interfere with the data I already have. And then click OK once done. Now you will see something like you do here, where you get pivot table fields on the right hand side, and you'll see a little message saying to build a report, choose fields from the pivot table field list. Say, for example, we needed to find out how many employees we had per region. It is very simple to find that out using pivot tables. So if I click on the tick for base location, you see it's auto-populated it onto my worksheet. And as you see in the bottom in rows, we now see base location automatically added. Say I then needed to get the number and the count, I can click on base location on the actual field here and drag it into values. And what it will do is count the number of times that the row appears in the base location column. So as you see, Jersey appears 9 times. So that tells us that there are 9 employees in Jersey. And then Mexico has 27, UK 75, and in the States we have over 800 employees. Now you would be able to send this to whoever asked that as an example, but say they wanted to know people's joining dates within the company per region. Let's get a breakdown of when people have joined. So joining date we have here, we're going to drag it underneath rows. So what you now see here is you see a sort of nesting underneath each region of when people had joined the company. So as you see, there were no employees in Jersey before 2021, and that the first employees that were there began in 2021. Now, if I was to expand on 2021, you see it's automatically split it into quarters. Say I don't want quarters to be measured in here, I can just drag that back up and you see it's disappeared. But if I come back to here, you now see it split into the months instead of quarters. Say we no longer want the joining date to be shown, you can click on it and drag it back up, and the years you can do as well. Say you needed to find out how many people were in each department, for an example, per region. You can do it the same way by dragging it under rows, but also what you can do is you can use the columns as well. So if I was to move department into columns, and you can select things and drag them between each of the boxes here, you can see it now allows a nicer view to have a look at it rather than all nested under each other in the rows section. And you can easily identify that anything in this column is accounting and finance related, and you can see that there are 126 people employed in account and finance across the company. Same if we looked at IT, you see there are 202 employees. Also, one thing you may not have known before, but you can also group things with pivot tables. So as you see here, I've got people's joining dates, and we saw 2 people join on the 11th of July 2020, 1 on the 12th, 2 on the 13th, and so on. And as you see, it's several hundred lines, and it's almost as bad as just staring at the HR data itself. Now, to make this a bit more easier to view, you can also group it. So on this A column, I'm going to right click and click group. And you get this grouping box pop up. And starting at the first date and ending at the last date there, you might want to add a little bit of extra room just for the dates to work around. And I want it to group it by years and not months. So I'm going to click OK. And as you see, I've now got 197 people joined in 2020, 458 in 2021, and 346 in 2022. Now, if we click into the 2021 one and we click on the joining date, you see it's got everyone who joined in 2021. Thank you for listening, and I hope that was a very helpful session. Stay tuned for more Excel essentials. Have a great day. Goodbye.